Hi, this is Jennifer, and today I'm doing a recording as I'm walking and getting some exercise since we are all shut in and having to social distance. But it is a beautiful day outside, and I figured I would get outside into the sunshine. I'm here in North Carolina, and it's beautiful. And I can get some exercise. We can all get some exercise even though we are social distancing. And I highly recommend it because it's good for the spirit. It's good for your physical and mental well-being. So I figured I would go ahead and do a recording. I usually do these through my podcast station on Podbean, but I decided that I would do it as a normal recording and tried to post it in different areas that way. So I said that I was going to talk about how a narcissist exploits your good traits. And I know for many, understanding what narcissistic personality disorder is can be quite confusing. It's confusing for anybody, even people who do have some awareness about it, because it's hard to understand something that doesn't make any sense. And when you are someone who isn't a narcissist, your mindset is completely different. There's two completely different perceptions of things. And so the way you may be talking to someone and then trying to convey something, and the way they may be trying to talk to you and convey something to you, when you speak it, it could be understood completely different. It's kind of like, an example would be when people say, well, when I sent you that text, or when I sent you that email, you didn't take it the way I meant it because there was no inflection in voice. And so then emojis came out and people started adding those, trying to help with that and help people understand where they were coming from. And so that happens all the time with people. It's like, oh, no, I wasn't upset. I'm sorry that you took it that way. Or, no, I wasn't stressed out or anything like that. I was just rambling on. But a lot of times we project out onto other people sometimes what we may have been feeling when we wrote it, if that makes any sense. So the same thing goes for, I'm sorry, I'm breathing heavy, I'm trying to walk fast. But the same thing goes for when you are speaking to someone who has high narcissistic traits or is a narcissistic personality disordered person. It can be quite frustrating because many times they don't express to you what they're thinking. Sometimes they will go away and try to process it, actually a lot of times. And when they do, they see things so differently after like in the moment they might be okay, but after they've left and they start really thinking about it, their mindset can change depending on how they want to view that conversation with you or whatever their mood is, because feelings for them are facts. And you may not even realize that you said something to offend them, and you may not even realize why they're upset with you. And that's why it's so confusing, because you can be with them in one setting that was maybe, let's just say 30 minutes ago, and then 2 hours later they're mad at you and you're like, I don't understand, they were fine when I was with them just a little while ago, and now they're mad and I don't get it. And that's why, because they left and they started processing for themselves how they are perceiving that conversation to go, or how that conversation went. And so you're kind of left in the dark, and there's never really any resolution with the narcissist. So you may be feeling kind of stumped, like, because you're a good person. So this would be where your good traits are. You're very forgiving, you want resolve, you're very, you care about other people's feelings, you don't want other people to be upset by any means, and you certainly wouldn't want to hurt somebody on purpose. So this is a really good trait. Well, a narcissist needs attention, and they need attention on them at all times. So that doesn't mean that they just want good attention. It doesn't matter what kind of attention it is. They just want attention. So that's why sometimes people get confused. It's like, why would they do something so stupid like that when everybody is getting mad at them or looking at them like they're a nutball? They don't care. All they care about is that they're getting attention. So just like in the media, no, bad press is still good press kind of thing, because you're still being in the forefront. People are still talking about you. And that means that you matter to a narcissist. A narcissist looks at it like, haha, I matter. People are talking about me. I'm able to control their emotions. This makes me feel powerful and superior to other people, and therefore I continue to do it. So they want that kind of attention all the time. It's when you don't react and when you don't give them attention at all that's a problem for the narcissist. And that's when you'll see things like a narcissist acting out in a really bad way, because they're trying different tactics to get attention that they want and need, because to be ignored is the absolute worst thing you could possibly ever do for a narcissist. So if you want to hurt a narcissist, that's all you do is you ignore them. That hurts anybody, right? Anybody would be upset if they're completely ghosted or ignored. But a narcissist, it is their lifeline to have people give them attention. And so it's super important. And no matter how they get it, they are going to do it. Act out, they'll be funny, they'll do all kinds of different things to get people to react to them. And so when I talk about exploiting people's good-natured traits, it could be something like, if you are working in an office situation and you're working with a narcissist, it doesn't necessarily have to be your boss, it could just be a coworker. And you are someone who is very efficient, you're on time, you usually will work late because you want to make sure that you get your work done, you are proficient at what you do, and you're just a very responsible person. And you also care about other people in the office, you may even care about your boss, and it's not necessarily about impressing the boss. I mean, everybody wants to do a good job. Well, I say everybody. Many people want to do a good job and be recognized for what they do, but it's not always about just being recognized. It's just about being loyal and caring and wanting to make sure that you're part of a team and that you've been a good part of the team effort. And a narcissist will prey on someone's good traits like that. So if you're in an office situation and they notice that you're that way, and pretty much everybody knows that about you, how they could prey on you is in a couple of different ways. Actually, probably a lot of ways, but I'll give a couple of examples. One would be is they're not that way. They're actually quite lazy. And so what they do is they go around and they make themselves look busy. And so they might be rushing around all the time, tapping that watch, on the phone, but making it seem like it's something really important, acting like they have lots of meetings, this, that, and the other. And speaking like, they're working, everything sounds good. But the reality of it is they're not really doing anything. They're just trying to pass the day away. But they know that they have to look like they're actually doing their job. So what they may do is do whatever the heck they want to during the day. That could be going to get their hair done, get their nails done, going to have long lunches with people and saying that's a meeting, shopping online, just kind of passing the day away. But their work isn't really getting done. And they know that those tasks need to be done. So they may somehow pass it off onto the person that has the good traits. And they can do things like use a pity play. Oh, I haven't had time to do my work because I've been caring for my elderly neighbor because her husband passed away and she's really needed me. And then the church is doing some donations for, I don't know, it could be, let's just say we're in the coronavirus thing right now. You know, the church has needed me and they're calling me, and I'm really donating a lot of my time, but I don't want to get in trouble with the boss. And you're so good at what you do. Do you think you could help me out and maybe just pull me out of this a little bit? And so they, being that you have such good traits, you're like, oh yeah, of course I'll do that. Of course I will. I'm actually doing quite well. I've got everything done on my end. Let me help you out with that list of yours. So they take on your list of things to do, and it makes them feel good to do this because they know that you're going to be happy with them, of course, and because you need them, or they need you, they need you, so they're going to be happy with you. So they're basically using you, but that makes you happy because they're not like being mean to you, right? Or they're not ghosting you, silencing you because they need you right now. So you're all too happy to do that. However, the narcissist doesn't give you the praise. They don't tell other people that you've done this. They take on all the accolades. So they get the praise for all this stuff getting done, maybe even done better than they would have done it in the first place, obviously, because you are so proficient, and they know that. And they know you want to be in good favor with them. So even though they aren't telling the boss or the higher ups about what you're doing, they may even future fake you and tell you that they're going to at some point for your next review or whatever. They'll say anything to work on your good traits. And so that is one way. Another way that they work on traits, let's just say it's the same exact scenario. You are someone who works in the office and you do everything proficiently. Everybody is always praising you. Clap, clap, clap. In all the meetings you're being brought up. Well, the narcissist can't stand that. No, you're supposed to be beneath them. They don't want to do the work, but they don't want you to get all the praise because you did. So what they may do to prey on those good traits of yours is go behind your back and start telling people things that would put you in a different light. They want to dim your light by just planting little seeds in the office so that people start to question their own judgment, even though for such a long time everything else has pointed something completely different, pointed that you are just so reliable and so wonderful. They want you to think, they want people to think differently about you. So they may say, always having to help them with their work. Nobody knows this, but every night I'm getting these phone calls, or every day they're coming to my desk and saying, I can't get this work done, and asking me to bail them out. You don't know it. And I gotta tell you, it's starting to wear me out. And they will start, and people will go, really? Oh my gosh, I thought they were just always a work hound and working after work and long hours and all of that just to keep up. No, I gotta tell you, they don't have good time management. And I've been trying to help them out as long as I can, but you know what? I'm busy myself and I just can't do it anymore. I don't know, I think I might need to go and tell the boss. What do you think? Or it could be they're in the break room. One of your coworkers is in there, and the coworker says something like, oh my gosh, Sally Jo, she's so fantastic. She blah, 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 whatever it is, something nice about you. And the narcissist is like, ugh. Once again, Sally Joe, everybody's talking so nice about Sally Joe. You know, so the narcissist is like, you know, Sally Joe isn't as nice as you actually think. I overheard her talking about you to blah, 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 and it wasn't in the best light. You might want to be careful about what you say and how you are with her, because she's really not who you think she is. Now, why would somebody do something like that? Well, they aren't good people. They know that these are tactics that they do. They know that people respond to this stuff. They are master manipulators. They've been doing it their entire life. It comes naturally to them. So for somebody who's healthy, they would go, nobody would do something like that. You're so crazy. Yes, they will. And guess what? That is them using your good traits against you. Don't fall victim. Don't be the prey. You, even though you may think that you aren't a victim or that you've been preyed upon, if you pay attention to your surroundings, there are many, many, many manipulators out there basically preying on you that you don't know about. Now, does this mean that you need to be paranoid? No, but it does mean that you should be aware. It does mean that you should be practicing strong boundaries. You might not want to be the gossip in the office. You might want to just, give people the benefit of the doubt. What you want to do is, when you hear things, don't take that at face value. You need to see it for yourself. And sometimes we all make mistakes, or we all act out. There are going to be times where we see things in someone and go, oh my goodness, because it's not their normal character. But you don't really know what's going on in somebody's life, so that can sometimes be a natural thing. They're just having a bad day. However, if it's a pattern that you see over and over and over again, you may be dealing with someone who has narcissistic personality disorder or extremely high narcissistic traits. Until next time, this is Jennifer.